Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's segment of readings. Um, this is on James 13 Wicca on YouTube, in case you're not seeing it there. For the main tarot, I'm going to use Wild Reflections Tarot deck by Spell. And there is a website on the back here. I believe it's there, yspell.com. It's in the center over here. There we go. If you're interested. That's what we have for the tarot deck. The oracle cards I'm going to use are Sacred... Okay, can't hold it. Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. It's hard to read it backwards. By Denise Lynn. Where's the websites for Denise? I think it's on the back of the book. So it's at the end of her paragraph where you see her face, that yellowish box. It's at the bottom of it. DeniseLynn.com if you want to check her out. And I also use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element. It's from the Dice Shop. The website there is mathartfun.com. I don't know if it's showing up. I don't know if you can see mathart.com. Hopefully you can. mathartfun.com. Alright, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. That being said, let's get into your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? A lot of energy. Something being built. I don't know where that's coming from. Like, I could see a desk being screwed together for some reason. I don't know where that's coming from. But we'll just roll with it. Why not? Why? Okay. All three water signs have a similarity going on here. It's funny, not funny, but it's kind of like things go well, things go really well, and then there's this little wrench in the monkey wrench thing going on there. And then it goes like, all right, what do you want to do with it? And it gives you a lot of possibilities, but it's kind of like all three water signs had this, like this moment where it's just like this bump that's like quite significant. So I don't know, Pisces and Cancer, if you have connections with people or if you're just inclined to do so, you might want to watch those too, because you might get some more extra information there. It's just interesting. So there's a lot of people around this situation. It seems like it's very, very busy to me. And it might be something where you work with somebody one-on-one, but there's a lot of other people, like a lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot of cooks in the soup, if you will, or you know what I mean, a lot of hands in the kitchen. A lot going on here. Even if you just work with somebody one-on-one, there's a lot of other people who are putting in influence constantly. And I feel like there's been this instance in the past with this very situation that we're talking about where you have pulled this out of the fire. You've pulled this situation out of the fire before. And you did some things that maybe you normally wouldn't, but you had to do what you had to do. I feel like you put yourself at detriment for this. But whenever it happened, whatever it is you had to do, that's kind of how it felt for you. Like, no, I got to do this. This is just how it is. The situation fails if I don't. I guess I'm just going to do it. Here we go. In fact, you might not even thought about it. You might have just done it, and then afterwards been like, well, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did, and it's working, so might be one of those things. I feel like I'm trying to keep that to myself, and I'm trying to get other people to pick up their own pieces. You might have done, I feel like you might either done somebody else's job, or for example, if this is a work thing, it's almost like doing 4 or 5 hours of work that you didn't get paid for. It's kind of like, or it's almost like, you know, I wasn't really supposed to call these people or get this taken care of or go pick that up or whatever it was, but it was aggravating me that it wasn't getting done. It was in my way, so I just did it. And I'm looking back and I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. It did stabilize the situation for a while. Currently, the situation does seem to be regulated correctly. Currently. You're doing what you need to do. Other people seem to be keeping it together. Is this because of Scorpio's influence, or like what's going on with this? Four of Cups reversed and the Hermit card. All right, so people are not, they're just, I feel like I'm completely ignoring what I don't like. I'm completely ignoring it. And I'm just looking, there's a goal in mind. There's a goal in mind. So like if you're working, if this was a work situation, somebody might be doing really well with this situation, but I feel like either they're going to go to another job, or there's some type of change they're anticipating. They might be doing this or pushing this where it's supposed to go, or making sure this is done right so that they can have the advantage to go on to their next part of their story, which I think is going to take them away from this situation. I feel like that's where this is headed. They might know it. They might not be sharing it. Do you know that? They might not be sharing it. Do you know that? Where's Scorpio sit with this information? You probably kind of know something's up, though. You're wondering. I feel like you're looking at the situation like it's going good right now. Right now it's good, but something just doesn't feel right. Something, I feel like you kind of get it, though. You're kind of like, something's not right here. It's good, but something isn't quite lining up quite right. I feel like there's a timer on this situation. There's shelf life. There's a shelf life to this, if you will. Expiration date, if you will, whatever works for you. It's not bad. Right now, though, I get that things are really, really good with this situation. But the thing is, how do you keep it where you want it is the question. Because I feel like there's a lot of information going back and forth, but not about the change. Either it's not being addressed or people don't know. That information is not in the forefront. And currently the energy is swirling around pretty good. Every piece of the puzzle is where it should be, and everything is swirling around the way it needs to be. The Emperor. That's the Emperor. I don't know about this energy. It's a good energy. It sometimes talks about Aries. You don't have to be dealing with an Aries person. It's very to the point, usually. Can be a lot of fun. And I'm getting these things. Can be very much a lot of fun, but it's also like, you know, when it hits the fan, they're like, well, turn off the fan, and whoever did it cleans it up, and they're right to the point. Where did that crap come from? We're going to make sure that they pay for it. Like, it can be a very brutal energy, but it can also be a very fun energy. And I'm getting, it reminds me of some military people I know where when they're having fun, they're like goofy fun. When they're serious, they're like dead serious. It reminds me of that energy. It's kind of like, it's like they're really, really fun or they're really, really serious. It's like there's no in between. There's just some people I know like that. I don't know if that's normal or not. So Judgment is going well. Does the Emperor know? I don't think the Emperor knows about the change coming in. I really don't. The Justice and the Emperor are actually ironic cards. The fact that they're here, but Justice talks about Libra energy. Emperor talks about Aries. They're opposites on the zodiac. They're both very much about the truth and building with the truth, but they have totally different ways of doing it. Sometimes the Justice energy feels that the Emperor is a little bit too brutal, and sometimes the Emperor thinks Justice is a bit too flaky and ineffective. So they kind of like, even though they're very involved and very invested in the truth, they have completely different ways that can be very contradictory and very conflicting for the two of them when they work together. You might be working with energies like that that seem to be like very very similar goals, but very different ways of doing it, and don't probably get along very well. Um, this energy is okay right now too. Everybody seems to be fine, and it might be also, this might be the writing on the wall. People who normally don't get along are currently getting along, and it's kind of like, oh, it's almost like it should be something we enjoy, but it's kind of creepy in a way. Um, yeah, energy is leaving. Somebody is moving on from this, and they're going towards what they want. They're just not sharing it with it. Somebody is moving on, and I get that in the future, probably within the next 2 months. I don't know. Whenever you're reading this or watching this, I should say. I feel like it's within the next 2 months that you're gonna really get the heads up, because the truth. Okay, the moon upside down is telling me the truth comes flat out. Here it is. There's only so much that's being shared, and not everybody's gonna know it, but you're gonna know it. For whatever reason, you're gonna get this information. Not everybody's gonna know it. I feel like you gotta kind of keep it to yourself. Okay, so the thing is, when you see this change coming, I feel like it's going to be knee-jerk reaction to kind of like, all right, well then let me prepare for that. It makes sense. You would want to prepare for that. I feel like this is just my natural, okay, I'm going to prepare for that. So that way I'm ready for it. Makes logical sense. I feel like that's what you would do. That may not work to your benefit. I'm getting, because that effort may not go anywhere, it may actually double back on you, so be careful. An option is to just enjoy it and like, all right, you're going, that's somebody else's business to deal with. I'm going to let them deal with it, because whatever's coming in to replace this energy is not going to work the same. So they're saying when this moment shows up, just enjoy it for what it is. Just enjoy your life. Don't put more expectations on yourself, because I feel like, especially for example, if this is a job and you're like, oh, I know so-and-so is leaving, so I'm going to work a couple extra weekends here to prepare for this, so we're all ready for it, so it's not that difficult. And then you realize that that effort, didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, and you're like, you missed a couple parties or events that you're like, I really would have rather gone to those events than worked those weekends. You know what I'm saying? They're saying just enjoy your life. Enjoy your life for what you have in front of you. Don't shortcut yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't keep yourself away from things you'd rather do. Do the things you'd rather do. Do the things you'd rather do. You'll be happy that you did. I mean, readings are for entertainment purposes only. Take it with a grain of salt, mountain worth of salt. You know how that goes. Because when whatever comes in, it's feeling. There's this movie a long time ago with Sally Field in it. I think it was called Norma Ray. And it just, something about contamination, and then they were cleaning her off. So she was naked and they're scrubbing her with these rough brushes, and I'm just like, it was a very traumatic cleansing is basically what I'm saying. I just keep seeing it. I think that was the name of the movie. It was Sally Field was the star of it, from what I remember. The energy here, something comes in and it's very restrictive. It's very controlling. And it's completely cleaning up the situation. It's like whatever you had or what we're doing, they're completely deconstructing it and completely washing it all out. Feels like a very harsh cleansing, and they're doing something totally different. It's different to you. It's the way they do things. It's kind of like they're showing up with this whole plan and boundaries and all these things, and it's the way they do things. It's completely different from the way that you guys do things. You, or maybe you, whoever you're connected with. It's a complete, like, I feel like it's a, what's going on here? There's a lot of restriction coming in, a lot of restriction. All right, so this is one of those things, people see this card and they get afraid of it. It's not bad. It's just defined, and there's rules. There's rules with this card, and if you cross those rules, it gets kind of brutal. It can get very brutal very fast. Ironically, it talks about Capricorn. You don't have to be dealing with a Capricorn, but Scorpio can kind of roll with that. Once you realize what the rules are, you can roll with it, and you can handle it quite well. So it's kind of like, that's where they're saying also, Take the time, enjoy what you want. Don't bend yourself in a pretzel trying to prepare for something that's going to go different anyway. And then when it does show up, kind of sit back and soak it in. Okay, I am an intuitive reader, but I'm seeing where you're going. Okay. Sit back, soak it in, because the energy is kind of like wait to see what this person or situation wants you to do. See what it actually wants from you. And just until then, just enjoy your life. Enjoy your life, do what makes you happy. Work things in your benefit that's not going to come in conflict, because I feel like you'll know the difference. As long as it doesn't come in conflict with whoever this is, I feel like you're fine. And just make it what you want it to be without getting involved in that. There's going to be a moment here where other people are going to have ideas. Other people are going to have ideas. Okay, well, I didn't realize this card was there, but that was there. Lay back and relax. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that matters to some people if you wanted to see it, but there's that card. Other people are going to have ideas, and they're going to try to get you involved in some stuff. They're saying, no. Hold back. Because it's going to cause a snafu. It's going to cause controversy. It's going to cause conflict that not only you don't want, but it's not going to help you in any sense. So it's not... Usually the Scorpios I know, if there's a conflict and it has to be dealt with, all right, then let's deal with it. That's the Scorpios I know. But also, there's no point to it. There's no point to have conflict just for the sake of conflict. If it's not going to do anything for you that's going to make your life better, then why bother? Why do that? Let's just hold to the side and see what happens next. Give it some time to show you what it is. There is something here that's very random. There's some commotion here that has to be sorted out first. You got the Wheel of Fortune, and you got the crossing of bridges. Crossing bridges. The crazy energy has to kind of settle. Granted, you could roll with the randomness. I know that, but typically Scorpios they can roll with it. But it's kind of like if it's going to keep going left and right and it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like trying to make lunch for like 50 kids. And like every time I turn around, no, can't have that because some of them are allergic and we don't know which ones. Oh, can't do that because they don't have enough protein in that. So nope, not that. It's like it keeps starting a meal and I can never finish it because they keep changing restrictions. Nope, can't have that because of this. Can't have this because of that. Nope, gotta restart it. Nope, can't do that. Nope, they gotta have more of this. Nope, too much of that. Every time I move a step or two forward, they're like, nope, nope, nope. And instead of driving yourself nuts, enjoy this moment, relax. Let it show you what it wants. If other people are insisting on driving themselves crazy, well, that's them. You may have people you very much like. They're a part of this situation that are very insistent that they have to drive themselves nuts. Let them. It doesn't look bad on you for you to step back and just wait for it to settle. If they're insistent on moving forward, even though you like them, you could try to give them your 2 cents, but if they're not listening, there's no point in you and them driving yourself crazy. If they insist on it, then let them do that on their own. It's you can't stop some people. I'm just saying, because this situation has to settle down a little bit before it's really going to be in a place where you can actually build what you want from it. And then once it's settled, you'll know what can and can't happen, and you'll know how to work with it. And I feel like you'll be fine. But while it's in this energy, they're saying let it just do what it needs to do. Even if you have people you very much care for and very much like that are insistent, nope, we got to be in control of this. Give them your peace if you have to. Kind of like, no, I'm going to wait for it to settle. They may not like that. Kind of like, listen, you got to do what you got to do, but I'm not going to be a part of it. Because there's no point in you and them being upset. If they insist on it, they're going to be upset. But, you gave them a chance. You told them, I'm not going to do it. You kind of, more than likely, you said, I wouldn't do that. I would let it settle. If they're insistent, let them do what they need to do. Wait for your energy to settle. Wait for this whole thing to settle. Then you can add in appropriately. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.